We're here in Mustang, Oklahoma. That's in Canadian County, and today we're going to talk about one of a very special community garden, the Wildhorse Gardens. And it's been actually on the show in the past, and it's moved since then. It's grown in size, it's grown in number of volunteers. The city has really worked with the community garden here and its volunteers, and the head person, the volunteer that's really helped make it happen, and one of my Master Gardener volunteers, Bob Wilson, is going to talk to us a little bit about that. So, hi Bob.
Good morning, how are you, Courtney?
Good.
Welcome to Wildhorse Gardens and Market. We're glad you're here. It's great to have Oklahoma gardening back. That's pretty special for us to be able to show people what we do here in the garden. This is our 9th year that we've been doing this now, so we're not great at it, but we're getting better at it. Thanks to the volunteers. Our garden is totally run and operated by volunteers with a lot of assistance from the city. They've given us this parcel of land to work on. They've given us all the facilities that we need. We have water, we have a building. So we run our garden kind of on shares here. We kind of do things on thirds. A third of what we raise, we provide to Kiwanis. And that's where our garden started 9 years ago. We had an opportunity to move to the park. We thought it would be a better exposure for the city, so we moved here 3 years ago. Another third of what we grow basically goes to all the volunteers that work here. So if you come down, you spend an hour or so working in the garden, you get to take produce home.
It's a nice incentive.
You're exactly right. We like to tell folks that it's just a whole lot easier to garden at home. You come down here and socialize, put an hour or so work in, take some veggies home with you. It's just a lot easier than trying to do it all by yourself. And then the other third, we have our farmers market on Wednesdays from 6 to 8 and Saturday mornings from 8 to 11. And that gives us a little income to kind of keep things going around here, buy seed, buy tools, so on and so forth.
Right, and that farmers market has really grown since I've been here, I think.
It has. We have a young lady that volunteers for us that does social media, and it's made a tremendous difference. She does YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all those things us old folks don't know how to do. And that's made a big difference in getting people to come to our markets. And the vendors that we have kind of varies. They're all local. Everything that we sell is Oklahoma grown produce. We probably had a total of about 15 vendors last year. Some of them kind of come and go. Some just have specialty crops and they be here for a couple of weeks while that crop is in season. And then other ones come all year long. So we run our market normally from about the first weekend in June all the way through September.
Right, okay. Would you like to talk about any of the successful or feature plants in your garden?
I would. I'd really like to have another one of our volunteers do that. She kind of laid out the garden this year and kind of decided what we were going to plant and where at. So I'd like to have Susan Dobbins talk with you about that if we can.
Hi, Susan.
Good morning, Courtney.
Nice to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
We just talked to Bob about a little bit about the garden, but I'm going to let you also talk about some things that maybe he didn't talk about. And I also want to mention that Susan helped me on Friday. We had the Cooperative Extension Service had our Junior Master Gardener Day Camp out here. And even though it was really hot, the kids and our volunteers had a whole lot of fun. Susan was really helpful giving the kids a tour of the garden. We planted some things in the keyhole garden over there. And so I'm really appreciative of you guys helping us out with Extension and the volunteers here at Wildhorse Gardens. And I'll let you talk a little bit about what the city has done to help you guys out and anything else you might want to mention.
Okay. Well, and I'm glad you brought up the Junior Master Gardener Camp because we had so much fun. And that's a big part of our mission here at the garden is not only the growing of the produce and the sharing with the needy, but also the education of kids. And that's why the city asked us to move over here so that the garden would be more available to kids. And we've had a lot of young volunteers in the garden this year. We've had Cub Scouts, we've had brownies, and we've just had families come out and help us. We've replanted the squash a few times because we had a problem with bugs early this year, but it's beautiful now.
It is.
The city helps us with the rototilling, but all the other labor in the garden comes from us.
Volunteers, right.
So it's just a lot of fun out here.
And you guys are planning to expand even more than this with a farmers market building, and we've got the playground and the splash pad going on over there. It really brings a lot of people in to your garden in the farmers market here. So.
It does. And right now we're just a warm season garden because we're all volunteering.
Right.
Nobody wants to be out here in February, but the market is going to end in September, but the garden itself will continue until the first frost. The
Right.
2 rows here are pumpkins that we're growing for Mustang's annual
Right.
Spooktacular. That's their Halloween celebration, and we hope to have some jack-o'-lanterns
Right.
for them.
And my plan next year is to possibly have the Junior Master Gardener Camp out here in October during the kids' fall break and have the pumpkins to use for that, because kids love pumpkins. So I'm really excited about that. I love what you guys have done here, and you guys are so committed. You have, well, I think a lot of volunteers
We
that are
have
helping out.
probably 30, 35 volunteers, and they're all part-time. We know it's summertime. We know people come and go, and they have other plans. But it's the volunteers that have really made the garden what it
Right.
is this year, because, as you know, the more care that we can give our plants, the better produce that we'll
Right.
have.
Right.
So,
Well, I really appreciate you sharing your time with us, and also for your commitment with the garden. This is great. I love it.
it is a lot of fun. We even have people that come out, people that are still working. I'm retired, but people that are still working come out and just pull weeds because it's a stress reliever.
Right, yeah.
So-
And someone mentioned that it was good therapy
It
to
is.
work out here. So multiple
It is.
purposes out here. This is great.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.